Hello and happy Sunday to you all. If you're joining me for the first time, my name is KJ Hamus, and I'm really excited to be here with you for this 60-minute yin practice. Tonight, we're going to work into our Anahata Chakra, which is our fourth chakra, also known as heart chakra. This is our place of internal love, internal acceptance, internal compassion. And when we really start to think about opening up the heart chakra, we're able to send the love that we share for ourselves, hopefully out into the world, and have a little bit more compassion for those around us. Things I think that are really important for the days to come. So a couple of things you'll need tonight: blocks, pillows. I actually have 2 pillows this evening. Feel free to just have 1 or 3 or 4, whatever's going to make you feel great. And then also a blanket or towel if you'd like. So anything that's just going to help you feel nourished and supported. I like to use the Sunday Yin practice as a place to practice rest and to find a little bit of recharge. So with that said, I'm going to invite you to get started in any comfortable seat that feels good to you, or any comfortable position that feels good to you. So seated, back, belly, side, maybe legs up the wall. Maybe you decide to move to a couch or to a comfortable chair for the opening, centering part of the practice. 100% up to you. Just whatever position you choose to begin in, let it be the most nourishing part of this practice so far. Hopefully we can be a little bit more nourished as we come. So with that said, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. And whatever position you take, I invite you to take a few deep, slow breaths in through the nose. And then exhale, open mouth, sigh it out, let it go. Deep, slow breath in through the nose. And exhale, open mouth, sigh it out, let it go. As you take one more cleansing breath here, notice on your inhale if you're tensing any part of your body, your fingers, your toes, your arms. If you're gripping anywhere as you breathe in, on your exhale, start to let your breath go. Start to not only let your breath go as you exhale, but also let the tension that you're holding on to release. As you welcome in yourself into your space and your time, your space being here and your time being now, we take a moment to pause and to honor the stewards of the land who come before us. And here in Washington, D.C., we are on Anacostan land and Piscataway land. And it's important that we pause and we honor the roots of yoga. We honor the first and earliest practitioners, the indigenous practitioners from the subcontinent of yoga, who codified the yogic practice so that we may have this practice of liberation and freedom today. So welcoming your breath in as it moves naturally. Just taking a moment to notice where your breath starts, where your breath is ending, qualities of your breath. What is traveling on your breath tonight as you step onto your mat? What emotions or challenges are you bringing with you? What openness are you bringing with you? And as you begin to explore your breath, feel free to bring your hands to any part of your body to close off your energetic circuit in a different fashion. Sometimes we feel called to send love, compassion, and to move our energy to different parts of our body. As you become more familiar with your breath, we'll move into a Chittakash meditation. And I learned this meditation from Dr. Chelsea Jackson Roberts, who learned it from her teachers. And this meditation comes from the Swami Nityananda lineage. As you start to deepen your breath, feel your breath enter into your heart space, through your heart chakra at the center of your chest. Option to bring your hands to that space where your ribs meet. Option to keep your hands right where they're at. So as you breathe in, feeling your breath enter into your heart space. And very slowly as you breathe out, feel your breath move from your heart space up and exit through the crown of the head. Breathing in slowly here till you can't take in any more air and pausing. Holding our breath without effort, with ease. And then exhale slowly as if you're creating a ha sound in the back of the throat. Feel your breath move from your heart chakra up through the crown of your head, our crown chakra. We will sit and we will breathe in this manner about 5 more full rounds. Slow and steady. As you find this breath, as you become more familiar with this breath, what do you notice about your Anahata Chakra? Does it feel closed? Does it feel open? Is your chakra open to receiving? Or does it need a bit more love and compassion before it can open? After you complete your next full round of breath, let your consciousness, let your awareness stay above your crown chakra. This space is known as the Chittakash. It is the place of our greater love and compassion, our communal love and compassion, love of the greater intelligence. Just observe and focus and rest on that space. And then taking a full breath in through your heart space. Finding your effortless pause at the top of your inhale. And then once again, sending your exhale out through the crown of your head. Slowly, as you're ready, begin to let your awareness and the movement of your breath rest in your Anahata Chakra, center of your chest. Beginning to meld the love, the communal love, and the greater intelligence with your own internal love, your own internal self-compassion. Gently begin to let your breath return to its natural rhythm, keeping your hands where they're at or releasing your hands if they're on a different part of your body. Just observing how you feel. Potentially setting your intention, your sankalpa here, to move through the rest of the asana practice, the physical practice, from a place of heart-centeredness, from a place of love and compassion for yourself. Working toward eventually letting your heart chakra be a place of internal validation. Reminding yourself you are enough, you are loved. Keeping your eyes closed if you'd like, or gently blinking your eyes open, starting to take in the space around you. You can move the energy a little bit down your legs or even down your arms. We'll move into our first space, our first shape. And the shapes we're taking tonight are going to target the physical charge points of the Anahata Chakra. So we'll be first looking at puppy pose or Anahata Asana. And with puppy pose, we'll be opening up our heart space, so the front part of our chest and our shoulders. I tend to like to use a pillow as support here. One is support and softening for my heart, especially depending on how I'm feeling emotionally. As I step onto my mat and move into this shape, it can be a very vulnerable shape. So at any point, if you feel really triggered, please stop and take time for yourself and resource yourself. That's really important here. I know we come to our asana practice as a way to resource and support ourselves, but the opposite can always happen too. So being very mindful of that. As we come here, and the pillow is 100% optional. You can completely do without it. Let your hips rest above your knees, and then just start to walk your hands out in front of you. Knees can go as wide as you need, and let your seat rest in the air. Heart space, chest can go onto your pillow or a bolster, and this can be a nice support too for your shoulders, depending on how tight your shoulders are feeling this evening, how much restriction there is today or on a normal basis. Depending on whether you're on the pillow or on the ground, chin can rest, forehead can rest, or you can draw cheek down to the mat. Up to you. We'll be here for about 4 minutes. As you work to find stillness in your shape, take the 4 minutes to ease into your asana. There's no need to rush, so starting out with more support, and then if the body invites you in, maybe removing some of that support because the ground and the body is able to support you in a different fashion. And part of love and compassion for yourself can be being honest with yourself about where you're at physically as well as emotionally. As you're here, if movement is something that your body is calling for, take a moment just to note why the movement is needed and be mindful as you take movement. As you settle into your breath, I invite you into the affirmation, I am love, on the inhale. I am enough on the exhale. As you're ready, slowly out of your shape, however you choose to do so. If movement calls to you right after the shape, feel free to take what you need. Cat-cows, maybe some movement in the hips. Could be in your upper body, just finding your shoulders need to move. And we'll come into puddle pose. So our mini savasana in between, just an extra opportunity to find stillness on back, on belly, on your side, or even taking a brief move to the wall for legs up the wall. As you come into your puddle pose, just observe how you feel. Letting your energy release from the shape, if there was one, could be very subtle, could be very, very noticeable. Letting your energy reintegrate with your body. Noticing your emotions here. Noticing your breath. Before thinking about the next shape we'll take, what can you do right now to feel as if you're leading from your heart? If you're on your belly, stay there. If you're not on your belly, begin to make your way to that space. We will move into our mummy pose next. And this is where I'll be using my two pillows. This can be a really nice way, again, to add a little extra softening to your front side of your body. If you happen to be pregnant like myself, this can be a way to start to explore how can you do some shapes on your belly without smushing the belly. It may or may not work, so you're just going to have to kind of experiment for yourself. If you're taking the two pillow option, no matter how you want to do that, place one pillow for your hips and then one pillow for your upper body, deciding if it's more in your heart space, center of the chest, or if it's going to be a little bit more upwards toward your shoulders. You can even use your blocks here or another pillow to draw the ground a little bit closer to you. And then from here, as you move into Sphinx pose, bring your right arm underneath your left. Your right hand can be out for half mummy. It can bend for sleeping mummy, or drawing your hands all the way across for mummy, attempting to give itself a hug. Palms can face up, palms can face down, or you can even come into the full hug. So our mummy shape is targeting our rhomboids, another physical high charge point of our Anahata Chakra. Our rhomboids can also be seen as the back door to our heart. So breathing in here mindfully and slowly, coming back to the affirmation if you have taken it. And if the affirmation doesn't call to you, draw your attention to your heart space with your breath. As you're ready, slowly begin to unwind, however you choose to. Find your puddle pose on your back. Stay on your belly if you'd like. And come to your side. You may have found that the double pillow doesn't work for you. You may have found it's the greatest thing in the world. Decide how you would like to use it when we get to the next side. But no, it may not work for everybody. As you settle in here, check in with your heart space. What do you need from this moment? And as you're ready, you're going to slowly find your way back to your belly if you've taken a different variation of puddle pose. Using your pillows or not, adjusting if you need to. And then we'll move to the other side. This time our left arm is going to come underneath. Right arm can stay long. It can bend. It can come across the body, or it can move into a hug. As you're ready, slowly come out of your shape, close to you, and then finding your way to your puddle pose once again. Remember, this can be whatever you need it to be. You may decide that none of the other puddles have felt good, and coming into a comfortable seat to focus on your breath is what is needed. Do that. But invite in what is most nourishing for you. And then from here, as you're ready, once again, returning to your belly. We won't be on our belly for very long. We're going to move into our open wing shape. I'm going to demonstrate this more going forward. So your feet won't be up. Your feet are going to be nice and long, but my wall is currently in the way. So as you lower onto your belly, start with your left hand and bend your left hand. So you're at roughly, give or take, a 90-degree angle. You can bring the shoulder or the elbow slightly below the shoulder or slightly above, but not too far. And then from here, you're going to open up, rolling on to your left side. Your right hand can stay bent. Your right hand can come behind you. It can even rest on your hip. And I'll demonstrate that from the side. Since we're focusing on our upper body, I recommend just bending your legs. Or you can keep them nice and straight, but not doing anything too crazy with them. So this is going to work into our pectoralis minor muscle, and that's another high charge point in the front side of the body. If you're feeling a lot of compression in your shoulder joint, bring your blanket or a pillow just underneath there to provide some support. You may also want to keep a block handy to rest your head on if your neck is falling too far below the spine. And we'll be on each side for about 3 minutes. As you're ready, slowly start to release your left side. This could mean coming up for a moment and taking some movement. This can mean rolling onto your belly. We're going to stack this shape on top of the next. So when you're ready, beginning to move over to your right side here, bending your right arm to about a 90-degree angle. You may have noticed that this exact 90-degree angle put a lot of strain in other parts of the body and not so much in the shoulder and the pec minor. Bend your upper arm just a little bit. The biggest thing is just elbow and shoulder. So if your forearm and fingers create a slightly different angle, that's fine. You may decide that what works best for you in your own body is that, and that it actually gets into the front muscle a little bit more. So when you're ready, rolling onto your right side, using a block if you need it, and being here. I've found with my left arm that it's actually nice to almost use as a slight pillow, just given the angle of the other arm. So letting it be a little bit more free form, may feel nourishing for you. From here, as you're ready, slowly come out of your shape, taking your time. You may choose to take a little bit of movement before you find your way to your puddle pose. And in this puddle pose, I'm going to invite you to really focus in on your heart space. Check in and notice how you're feeling mentally and emotionally, in particularly emotionally. The next shape we'll take is going to be a very open shape, and that may not feel right to you this evening. So I'll offer an alternative if you need to protect your heart or soften it from the front side of your body a bit. So stay right where you're at as I walk you through both options for the next shape, or our final shape, if you will. So depending on what you're needing tonight, if you're feeling you need to soften the heart a bit more, if you want to protect your heart a bit more, I'm going to recommend a restorative child's pose. And for that, you can use extra pillows or even a block pillow combo setup. So with that, you would place your two blocks in a vertical line and one or two pillows on top. As you come into your child's pose, you would rest your heart on that and even hug the setup or bring your arms along by your side, whatever is going to feel best for you. So that's option one. That's not really going to be targeting any of the physical charge points, but again, the emotions play such a strong role in how we take our shapes. That might be what you need. If you're feeling a bit more open, if the body's willing to be a bit more open right now, you'll come onto your back and we'll move into an open wing shape. So with open wing, knees can be bent or legs can be straight, really up to you. We want to recommend starting with your left side. So as you come onto your back, take your left hand and bring it behind your back so the palm will eventually be face down, flat on the ground. The higher up, the more you're going to feel this in the front part of your shoulder and along your heart meridian line. The lower down, the more restorative the shape may be, and the less you'll feel it in this space. So moving to where you need, if you're taking the restorative child's pose, know you're going to be there the longest, even as we switch sides, but always feel free to move to as needed. And so moving into our open wing variation, as I mentioned, this is going to be targeting our heart meridian. And in Chinese medicine, our heart is considered the supreme ruler of our body. So oftentimes we think of the mind as being the supreme ruler, or the queen or king, if you will. But it's actually in Chinese medicine the heart. The heart is the organ that governs and guides the other organs. So our heart meridian really plays an important key. And our heart meridian runs from pinky to pinky across the front side of our body, along our collarbone, and then starting roughly from our sternum, goes up and then down. I'm going to let you be with your breath. We'll have about 2 more minutes in this shape. So if you're in restorative child's pose, feel free to stay there or take some mindful movement and returning. If you're taking open wing, roll gently onto your right side, release your left hand, then rotate over to your left side, bringing right arm behind you, palm face down, and then rolling onto your back once again. Remember, each side can be very different. So you might take a more restorative variation. You might come up a little higher or anywhere in between. From here, rotating onto your left side if you're in the open wing, releasing your hand. If you're in your restorative child's pose, beginning to mindfully move out of it, taking any final movements you need before coming into your savasana, your final resting pose, when you're back on your belly side, even returning to legs up the wall. And coming into that space is a way of letting go even more. So how can you start to let your rest fill you up? Let this be your space, what you need. And I invite you to take a couple of deep, slow breaths in and out. Seeing if you can release that which is no longer serving you. Letting yourself be here right now, in this moment. Beginning to invite some gentle movement back into your body. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. As you're ready, slowly and mindfully finding your way to a comfortable seat. No rush to get there, knowing that you can stay in Savasana as long as you need. When you do arrive at the top of your mat, bring your right hand on top of your heart and your left hand over your right. Closing with a final meditation, another heart meditation from Dr. Chelsea Jackson Roberts. As we work to spend the practice to cultivate internal love and self-compassion, you may feel ready to give and receive love and compassion from the world around us. We may also feel that we still need to give and receive love just for ourselves, and that's okay. But as you're ready, slowly extending your left hand out to your side to give love, whether to yourself or somebody else. And then as you bring your left hand back in, receiving love, sending love back out through your right as your right moves. So as you continue to breathe, moving your hands one after the other, this act of giving and receiving love and compassion from your heart space. Taking about another 30 to 45 seconds. Even in that time, turning your hands to your heart space as you're ready. Once again, giving and receiving love to yourself. When you do return your hands to your heart space, we enter a moment of acceptance, accepting our bodies, accepting our minds, accepting our hearts, how we showed up this evening. We take time for gratitude, sending gratitude to ourselves for making this time for ourselves, for hopefully finding nourishment here. And then sending gratitude and thanks to those who joined us to create our virtual community. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Thank you so very much for joining me for this practice this evening. I hope you found something out of it that you needed. Just so you know, next Sunday there will not be a live yin practice. I will return the following Sunday. I'll try and get something up on video ahead of time, but I can't promise that. However, on Tuesday at 10 a.m., I'm going to be offering a special yin and meditation practice. So 10 a.m. on Tuesday, if you'd like, feel free to tune in live, or the recording will be available to you at a later time. Thank you so much. I love being here on Sunday evenings, and I hope you do too. Have a great one.